Watch this black hole cat find its place.
I love tea, and I'm making this video because I want to tell everyone that there's so much more to tea than just good old English breakfast tea with sugar and milk. Yeah, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about tea. It's going to be slightly an educational video, I'm thinking. So, I would say tea is a matter of taste. There aren't really any incorrect way of making tea as long as you enjoy the finished product. There are different types of hot beverages that we call tea these days, like herbal tea, and like fruit teas and rooibos tea, honeybush tea. But all of these aren't really teas. Tea is made out of the bud and the baby leaves of the plant called Camellia sinensis, which grow in tropical and subtropical regions, but grown all over the world today. But the finest teas come from 5 Asian countries mainly, which are India, China, Sri Lanka, Japan, and Formosa. That sounds really Swedish to me. There are different types of tea which are made from the Camellia sinensis plant, which is, first of all, black tea, which is fully fermented and dry. And then we have oolong tea, which is moderately fermented, like 1/3 of what black tea is. And then we have green tea, which is not fermented at all, but rather steamed and dry. And then this thing called white tea. Yes, white tea. It's made the same as green tea, but it's picked at a certain time of the year during the certain time of the day. And it's called white tea because the young bud and leaves have tiny white hair on them, so that's how that came about. When you brew tea, there are some tips that might turn a catastrophe into a wonderful experience. Like, use clean equipment, that's one tip, and use cold, preferably filtered water. And don't boil the water, because when you boil the water you remove the oxygen from the water, and this can lead into bland tastes that you don't, it's just better if you don't boil it, basically. As I said before, there's not really a correct way to brew tea, as long as you make it the way you like it. But there are mistakes that you can do while you're making the tea, which can make you think that you don't like that certain tea. One of the mistakes is to use too hot water. Like I said, when you boil it, the oxygen disappears and doesn't taste as nice. I don't think that a lot of people maybe wouldn't notice the difference, but I don't know. I do. Weird. And let's see, where was I? Yeah, I roughly heat my water up to 75, like 72 degrees Celsius. I don't have like a thermometer in my kettle, but I just turn it on when I think it's right. Yep, and another mistake is to use too much tea for the amount of water you have, which will make your tea very uneven with a strong flavour, even though all the flavours in the tea haven't really had time to come out by the time you figure out it's too late. So yeah, it's just strong and all the flavours aren't in there, so it's just crap. And then you might brew it for too long or not long enough. The latter is a mistake I made myself. Brewing it too hot So I didn't start out liking green tea at all because I thought it was kind of bitter, but green tea is not meant to be bitter. If it's bitter, you have done something wrong. It's either you brew it too long or use too much tea. You shouldn't, like, I use one of these and I fill this like half full and half full for this amount of tea, which is half litre. So yeah, don't use too much tea. It's just a common mistake, and it's just so dumb because people don't know how green tea is meant to taste. Like, oh, it's bitter, I don't like it. It's not meant to be bitter. So yeah, this is my contribution to tea. Yes, I love tea, so I think I'm gonna go now and make myself a nice cup of tea with some great filtered cold water, and yeah, enjoy your tea. And this is my collection of tea.
Green tea, green hoba tea, Mexican mango tea, ginger digest tea,
Gypsy Earl Grey tea.
yerba mate tea, green lemon ginseng tea, sencha Hawaii tea, Christmas tea, green sencha tea with flowers and coconut, green tea with lime and mango, blackberry tea, monk tea, rooibos tea, instant green tea, white tea, green tea all day, more green tea, purple switch, chai, gorgeous geisha, green tea, detox and crunch tea, rooibos tea, green tea,
Japanese powdered green tea.
peppermint, chai, sage tea, ginseng tea, tea, and then a bag of more tea.
And here's some tea. Looks like ganja. Ganja! But it's tea. Don't get me wrong.